guys? Good. We're going to have a look at some entries into leg locks today. What I'm going to focus on is the actual entrances, and then towards the end of the week we'll have a look at completing the submissions. So these are just a couple of ways that we like to play from, I guess, what are called the core positions. This is probably aimed at more the blue and purple belt and above, but it's a really good way to start off with to learn how to use the butterflies and things. So we're going to grab Emma, and I'm going to have Emma's on my feet like a butterfly guard. So starting off with my feet on the inside, I'm going to elevate on my left hand side. So that means I need the underhook on my left hand side and an overhook on my right hand side. So we're going to shuffle in, so left hand goes deep, right hand goes over. So we're holding this here. What I'm trying to do is put all Emma's weight onto my right hand side, which is her left hand side, to make her leg light. So let me explain. So I'm going to roll. I'm not falling backwards. I don't want her weight to come on top of me, because this is really hard for me now to do anything. It's how she wants to pass the guard. So instead, what I'm doing is I'm going to tip everything, like basically shoulder roll to here. So I'm going to allow my partner to post. It doesn't really make any difference at the moment. But what I'm trying to just say there is my hooks is I'm trying to do this. I'm not trying to do that. So I'm not trying to extend my leg at any stage. I'm trying to keep my leg hooked in nicely. So it's just kind of like one motion.
Mom, can I have something else to eat? Another hot dog?
Just 2 seconds, monkey. So from here, we start off with, so my left hand's under, my hook's under. What I'm doing is I'm going to pull, and it doesn't matter whether she posts or not, but I don't want her hand posting because I now can't get any leverage on it. So it's more about tipping to the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my leg. So lift my leg up so that she's basically balancing. And I'm not trying to get my foot high yet. I'm just trying to put her in a position that I can capitalize on it. And again. Just going to move backwards a little bit just so we can actually see this. So we have the butterfly guard. Once again, I have the underhook and I have the overhook. What I'm doing is I'm rolling to my side, I'm not rolling to my back, and I'm elevating my left leg. So I'm going to roll to my right, I lift my left leg up and I elevate. So she can hold on to my head if she wants to, but everything's nice and tight from here. I'm just going to turn you around so you can hop, hop, hop. So from here, butterfly guard again. My right hand goes over, my left hand goes under, and I'm not falling here, I'm falling over this side. So I'll fall, I lift my leg up and I keep it elevated. So it's quite hard for her to keep a balance from here. I always flare my elbow so she doesn't jack onto my, like try to do an arm bar. It's always flared. So I'm keeping it fully balanced from here. Okay. The solo drill, if you guys wanted to practice this, just to keep it so that we're working, I go, left hand goes under and over. So the left hand goes under, right hand goes over, we have the butterfly. What I'm doing is I'm going here, like this. So everything lifts, lifts, lifts. And all I'm trying to do is keep my partner so they're onto the overhook side. So it's extremely hard for them to move or to step off it. So from the side point of view, what I mean by when I'm falling to my side is I have the overhook and the underhook is I'm not falling backwards and trying to sweep. Once my back hits the ground, this is exceedingly hard for me to move because I'm locked into position, plus their weight comes over me. So the weight's kind of over my hips and my stomach. So I'm trying to go overhook and I'm trying to go underhook from here, and I'm rolling to the side and I'm kicking. So instead of kicking them over like a sweep, my foot goes to the ceiling. So this leg goes to the ceiling. We're not trying to kick. So the sweep would be over, under, sit, kick, sweep. And we look to go to the top position. We normally end up in half guard. But today the focus is on to the leg locks or the ankle lock in particular. So we're going to have a look at how we get there. Once again, as we have Emma in my butterfly guard. And the reason why it's called butterfly guard is because it's like butterfly wings. Simple. So my stake hand or my overhook hand, overhook is for holding. My underhook hand is for moving. I sit, I dip to the side, nice and easy, lift my leg. And what I'm going to do now is my leg's simply going to shoot to the ceiling and I'm going to open up my arm. Whoop, and shoot so I get hold of the ankle. The hard part is my leg has to lace. So my foot's on the outside and her leg's between my legs. Like we're doing an arm bar. So her leg's like an arm, it's between, and my elbow's tight to my body, super tight. So the hardest part I found when I start teaching this is allowing people to create the valley for the leg to drop into the valley. So, okay. So, underhook for lifting, overhook, so I'm rolling to my side, to my side, to my side, I lift. So what I'm doing now is I just create a space. So what I mean by space, my elbow flares from my body and I create a valley. My leg lifts, and what I'm doing is I just so it drops in. But I don't want her to come over onto mount, because this is really bad for me. So what I need to put a wedge in between our stomachs as well, which would be my free leg and my right leg. So again. So yeah, okay. Do you want me to hold that arm or is it easier for you not?
Okay, just let me control it.
Yeah, okay. So I go underhook, I go post from here, lift. So as I'm lifting, right, I'm going to bring my leg, so I'm going to straighten this leg and bring this leg in. So I'm catching her leg between my legs. As she tries to climb over me, I simply turn to this side. So everything's in tight, nice and tight, and I've got the ankle lock position from here. It's very hard for her to roll because my knees are squeezed together, my hands on here, and I'm really deep down onto the ankle, I'm not onto the calf. And again. So from here, overhook, underhook, I roll to the side, leg goes high, flare, leg comes through, and I catch. So now, to turn my partner over, I'm simply turning my trap knee, my inside knee, to the outside, and that allows him to turn. Right, so this is the easiest way. I've taken the pressure off the ankle, but my knees turn, which turns my partner. So it's the knee turning which turns the knee, which turns the hips, which turns the body. I'm not trying to force it. But my right knee has to come higher than my left knee to complete the turn. We should end up in the perfect little leg lock position. Legs trapped nice and deep. My ankles are buried underneath it, so she doesn't get access to my ankles. My elbow's in, I'm on the leg, so my elbow's in, I'm on the leg. It comes on really fast with this probably. And to stop her from climbing onto my back, I just have my little knee shield. Yeah. So that's just my little knee shield I used to play. I would be attacking the ankle, so we wouldn't just be playing from here. Yeah. And again, guys, nice and slow. So the hardest part that you're going to find is the little core work that you have to do to counterbalance your partner. The core, you okay?
Yeah, the nice your back. So.
Yeah. So the core work. So what I mean by the core work is what's right here is I've got to have this core. Right. So I've got to be able to use my core. It's okay.
Yeah.
To hold her in position. And what I'm doing is my knee comes in, I kick my leg through so she falls in. So she's in the trap. My right knee crosses higher and I turn my knees. And that'll put her in the position to be able to start to attack the ankle. It's a really nice entrance into the leg lock. A lot of times that we do the butterfly sweep, my partner can post. Do you want to go to the other side for the post?
No,
So you want to post on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I mean by that is I'm going to swap sides on you guys. So Emma's onto my butterfly. And I'm going, so from here, this is, once I go from here and I try and elevate, if I'm doing the sweep, because she's so tight to me, it's really hard to get my ankle lock. So this is where I start to get my sweep. right? But I'm tight, so it's very different to the ankle lock. So what would make me choose between the sweep and the ankle lock? Obviously, it's my choice. But I'll give you this way, Sophie. If I'm working the underhook versus the overhook, so the overhook, and she starts to create, she knows she's going to get swept, so she starts to push away. So as I'm here, I'm like, no. So I still have the ability to lift because she's giving me the space. So as she pushes away, if I'm finding this is hard to, I can simply grab the leg. So I can hold it, and I simply lace. Make sure your foot doesn't cross over the equator. This is called reaping. So always make sure that my toes are facing away, not facing in. Once again, change my leg position, squeeze, and we're in the perfect position to finish the ankle lock. I haven't gone into the grab on the leg yet. We're not going to do that in today's session. It's simply more about some of the entrances into how to get to the leg lock position. Okay, so that's number one of the butterfly guard. What we're going to have a look at now is going to have a look at number two, which is an attack from inside the full guard or the closed guard. And this is a pretty basic attack. Once again, I'm not going to do anything too advanced today. We're just basically entrances. And this, I've had mixed results on this as far as doing it on high levels versus some of the beginners. The high levels have got a really nice little back step on this, so it's quite hard to catch them sometimes. So Emma's inside my full guard, and what she's going to do, she's going to start to stand up inside my full guard. So can you sit down please so I can get my full guard? So we get the full guard, so the closed guard or the full guard. So from here is Emma bounces up to her feet, so she pushes up and comes up from here, comes up. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to start to choose a side. And it can be either side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my knee down. So I'm going to attack this side so you guys can see. I drop my knee down from here and I spin. Right? So from here, I got you, is I'm going to drop my knee down and I spin and I'm coming under. Sometimes you can't get the ankle, so I try and get hold of the knee. So from the full guard, I'm standing, so she stands up, is I drop my hips so my knees spin on the inside and I cut. All I'm going to do is I'm going to open my leg and bring my partner over, which now looks at going straight to the leg attack. And I've got my toe holds and all that as well. So this takes a little bit of practice to do. My partner's got to engage your core so she doesn't fall over. And again. No, it's quite hard because you're trying to bear my weight. So I find it easy, so instead of getting up and getting down, getting up and getting down, sometimes we just have our partner standing, just like you. Oh, you finished? Oh, you got your unicorn? Okay, you sit here, people are watching. Thanks, mate. Okay, so Emma stands up, and what I'm doing is, from here is, I don't have much attacks because it's no gi. I don't have the collar, I don't have the grip. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to hold, and I'm dropping on the inside, so my hips spin out, so I like doing the quarter turn. But my knee comes onto the inside of her. Right, so my knee is on the inside. I don't want my knee on the outside, I want my knee on the inside. And she's going to fall, right? So what I'm going to do is, can you sit up a little bit? So from here, before she falls, I bring my leg around. So my knee on the inside, and I try to just put my heel on her bottom. Leg around, kick. So going in a position where we go toe holds, over 1, 2, knee bars. So it's going to go Emma onto her back.
Yeah, do you want to go and sit on the couch where it's more comfortable? Or on his bed with it? You can sit on his bed?
Okay, you sit there. You can sit there too, buddy. So I stand up inside the guard, so Emma's got a full guard. And what happens is, first of all, she's going to change the angle. And all she's doing is dropping this knee on this, so hold my leg. So you need to have an anchor point. If you don't have an anchor point, it's really hard to spin to this position. what she's going to do is her leg's going to take a huge spin around and her hip is going to grab this way. But she wants to spin to here. So now her legs are going to do what we call like a catapult. So she's going to kick me with her legs and that extends. So because she's got hold of that, my leg goes to this. So this is your knee bar for you. As I try and lift, she's got the option to go to a toe hold as well. Very good, nice. And again. So instead of getting up and down with your partner, what I found is easy is I simply start from here. Okay? So in this position, I'm going to drag it backwards just a little bit. Hold on. Okay. So we're here. So what Emma's going to do is she's going to grab it. Her knee drops on the inside and you make sure that it's nice and tight. What she's...
This foot.
Yeah, just there, perfect. So now, this foot here, as she spins, it hooks. So it's her heels on my glute, my butt, my bottom, not the whole, just on the butt. To make this work is, she needs to slowly kick her legs away, but she holds my ankle. So I'm basically going to get catapulted to here, my leg extends. So treat this like an arm bar, and you slowly raise your hips to get the submission. So that's entrance number 2. It's more like a knee bar or a toe hold instead of going to the leg lock. So I said like we're doing leg lock entrances and toe hold and ankle lock entrances. So guys, can you please be quiet while I'm coaching?
Go
Awesome. Okay.
No, I see. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the next one we're going to have a look at. I'm going to put all these together for you guys. Okay. Yeah, can you sit? Be quiet please? Okay. So we're going to have a look at the basic one from the guard. Awesome, thank you. We're inside the closed guard. What I'm going to do is I'm going to force the legs open. So I'm going to go from here. So instead of Emma giving me the guard pass, I force the legs open. So again, we're inside the closed guard. My elbows are on the inside. I step out, but I'm stepping up. Right, so I'm stepping out, I'm stepping up. From here, I'm sliding and I'm trapping. So my elbow holds on to the top of her foot from here. And everything's tight. She can't spin very easy to the arm bar or the triangle. I'm a little bit too far away, so I've moved back from her hips. So I'm not up tight where she can possibly swing and take my arm. So I'm out nice and wide. This is the hardest part for me, is I don't want to get swept. So I'm going to post onto my partner and I'm going to bring my left leg up and on the inside of her knee. So I post, my left leg comes up and I come onto the inside of her knee and there's a fair bit of pressure. My right elbow is driving, my left shin is in and I'm here. I now pop up and grab. So a little bit of counterbalancing from here guys. If I go head heavy, guys can you stop kicking legs? If I go head heavy, I want to get swept, so it's hips heavy. So what I mean by that is, as I'm popping up, my hips going forward, going forward, going forward, and I trap it, so I've got the ability to start the ankle lock from here. So blade of the hand, from here, and I drive my hips forward. If my partner doesn't tap, I step, I sit into the valley. From here, I've kept my elbow tight behind my back. I go nose down, thrust my hips forward, move backwards, and ankle lock. I do that one more time for you guys, just so you get this more detail. This is one of my favourite ways from the closed guard to the ankle lock. I find this one, if I just set the, I find this one's a higher success rate than the others. Can you guys just move over? Can you guys just move over there a little bit for us, please? Okay, so full guard. Traditionally, what happened is we'd step backwards to pass the guard. What it means I'm stepping high. So I step not and I'm trapping. So my whole body rotates to my right or towards the trapped ankle. I push onto my partner's stomach, I step up, and what I'm doing is as I step, my knee crosses over to pin the leg. So everything's trapped into a nice position from here. The leg's trapped. The hard part now is this, I go hips forward and grab. Hips forward to submit. Right. So everything's tight, elbows tight. I'm putting weight onto my left leg, hips go forward, and ankle lock. If my partner kicks me away, so pop kick, I sit. Once again, I'm in the position. My elbow's too far away from the equation to worry about an arm bar, but I still don't want to give it to her, right? So I start to turn away and put pressure on. The whole ankle lock is that my elbow has to travel behind my body. See, if I try and turn, I can't because my elbow it's still going to come on, yeah. But versus that is a huge difference.
I feel like maybe that way I might.
Yeah, I'll just slide you just over a little bit, okay? So I see a lot of times that on the small details. So that, like I've said, the guys do this and this, which is a good option. Like I don't get me wrong. Like there's guys that are really good at this style ankle locking. But for me, it's if I can get this and I'm holding my hip, which means it's the blade running against her Achilles, not her calf. The blade's running against her Achilles, right? Is anytime I go like this, I've loosened this, and I don't want to give her space. So I make sure it's tight. The second thing about it, once I commit here is my hands are committed. If I'm here and I feel her starting to get space, I can trap the leg. And I can make this really tight. So I can actually hold the knee into position. So as she tries to retract the knee, where if I'm here, she has a little bit of play. Not much, but a little bit of play, but sometimes a little bit's enough. So number one is I always go, I hold, which makes it the blade. Number two is I have a free hand. Also, if she tries to sit up, I've got something to push away if I want to. The next thing is to take the space away. So if I'm going to choke the ankle, there's a huge space underneath my elbow and my hip. So to get rid of that is I sit up and I roll my elbow behind. Okay, guys, can you be quiet, please?
If you're not quiet, you need to go to the other room.
So, elbow lifts up, sits back, and I start to roll onto my elbow. I'm going to get Emma to do this. Okay.
You have to do the other room.
You need to be very quiet on recording. So Emma's over, so to keep it universal. So Emma's inside my guard. And what she's going to do is just going to keep it nice and easy, guys. She steps up and out from here. And she makes sure that her elbow is coming over to trap it, remember? So not a hand, just her elbow to trap. So everything's in tight. So what she's doing is she's keeping her elbow on my ankle, not my cup. Okay, guys? Guys, you need to move to the other room now, please. Okay, guys, you need to move to the other room. On video. Sorry, guys, 2 seconds, please. Okay, guys, you need to come to the other room because you're making too much noise. Come on, let's go. Sorry, guys, 2 seconds. Sorry guys, just 2 seconds. Problems of working from home. So we're just going to get Emma to go through it, and I'll go through a bit of detail on the ankle lock and the finishing it as well. Just the biggest thing that I see with the ankle lock is if you're doing this, you're pulling the elbow forward, which makes it really hard to finish the ankle lock. So a lot of times that I'm here is, and it's hard for me to shuffle my hips in, so I lift up and bring it in. So I'm just doing a little bit of a core flex, bring it in, and it's in. Okay, so swap positions. Close guard, so Emma steps up, and what she's doing is that's perfect. So now she pushes on me, and her leg comes up, and what she's trying to do is jam the inside. So you can set the angle of my leg, but it's not a really good position for me. It's not rotational by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just a really tight position. So what she's going to do now is she's going to start to drive her right elbow in and slowly turn away from me. It's just on, it's a really tight submission. So once we're here is, I like to hold your hip. That means that the blade or the sharp part of your arm is on the back of my Achilles. So now as you drive your hips forward, perfect. So if we haven't laced the arm yet, and we're out, so what we're going to do is we're going to drive our head high and our hips forward, and that creates space. We now lasso or lace, and we turn. So I'm going to kick away, so she's going to bring her legs together. Remember, the hardest part is this, if you feel my knees coming out, you've got your free arm, so you can just hold yourself into position, right? Your elbow, so to get the elbow back into a little bit of an ab crunch, and bring in. It's a really tight submission. It's terrible. But it was one of those ones where once we're here, even if I come up and I roll, just keeps elbow behind, nose down, nose down, nose down, and it comes on. It's a terrible way to just go move you back over here. So again, I really want you guys to concentrate on when we're doing this. We're going to go back to butterfly one in a second just to rehash, is when we step up, you're making sure that this is caught here, but you can't lace it yet. If you put your hand underneath and lace it, you give me the options to start to go to my omoplatas, my attacks, where if you just here, anytime that you feel me start to rotate, you can simply abort and look for the guard pass. Nice. So hips come forward, and you want this, not on my, yeah, you want it right up, yes, like that, and your weight's down. So you pin my leg to the ground, nice. It's very hard for me to, so.
Is that not rotational?
No, because, okay, is it rotational? No, because, stay there, if I'm playing guard, which way's my legs? So all you're doing is I'm playing guard up to the side. Does that make sense? Where if you stay there, but keep your balance. Where if I went here and you start lifting my heel up, my leg doesn't, this is now rotational. So you're just basically like, look, all you're doing is you're pulling me into guard, you lock my leg to the ground, so pop, and we're here. Yeah, and you can post, look, you can post, there's no dramas. Even if you post on the ground, it's not a bad thing. But if you're going to post, you post and fall. So push, grab my knee with your hand, got it, sit to position, okay, close the space up, make sure your feet are under me. So under my bottom, put your feet under my bottom, stop, put your feet under my bottom. Okay, so this enables you to, I get access to nothing. Where your feet on the outside.
You can't just scoop away then?
I sure can, but you squeeze, elbow down. So as I go to scoop away, you're pulling with your top arm, I'll pull the elbow in, nose to the ground, you keep turning. Yeah, it's a really tight ankle lock. Okay guys, so that's one of my favourite ways to do the ankle lock from the closed guard. We're just going to go back onto the to the butterfly one, just to go through that one again. As I said, we need to have a look at the elevation. So we've got a bit more motion in our body now, we're a little bit warmer. So we have a look at the motion now and how to elevate. So my partner's inside my butterfly guard. And I step, so I'm not going to hold the post hand, so I have the underhook hand. If I roll backwards, I pull my partner's weight onto me, I can't elevate it. But if I'm going here, is I lift my leg. And it should almost be effortless, right? So we're working our core, so everything's engaged from here. Grab, kick through, leg comes through. Reset from here. Sit up. Sweep. 1, 2, 3, reset. And again. Yeah, it's a really good stretch, okay?
Opening my hips.
Yeah, so for Emma, it's a really good stretch. Some of the guys that aren't quite flexible, this is going to be one of those ones that's quite tight. I don't mind this one, it's not that bad. So for me, it's to the side, engage your core, kick, floater, so float, cup, both knees, don't put your foot on the hip yet, here, rotate my knees, sit, rock and roll baby, and on. Okay. Yeah, it's everything's tight. So Emma's going to do this to me. So good little workout for your core. Now, just so you guys know, is you're using these tiny little muscles in your groin called your hip flexors.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is one of those micro muscles that we really need to engage. Emma goes under. So I'm going to help a little bit. We sit here, you lift the leg up, so she's floating. So I'm basically sitting up almost from here. The higher that she gets it, the better that is. So the downfall is the higher she gets it, the harder it is to grab the ankle. So you want that kind of medium one where you grab the ankle. Now, your leg's already going to come through, so you kick this one under, pop, and we're in position. The hardest part now is, especially for me, is I'm in a position where I can start to push and jump. So this knee comes higher than that is. So that turns my hips by default. And that's what's allowing you to get the sweep to transition. If you don't rotate the knees higher than the other, I have the ability to jump. Elbow comes in, nose goes to the ground, we'll look away, hips go forward, tap, victory dance.
Yeah, something like that.
And again.
You just corked my calf with your bully bum.
I did so. Butterfly guard. Okay. So once again, over there, over there. Okay, so she goes under, and she's not posted, so I'm going to allow her to post. She elevates the leg, high, high, high. Gets hold of my ankle. Now remember, this leg's already in position, right? So this leg comes, in position here. So it's basically coming to the other side, not onto the groin, from here. To make the sweep work is, we put our feet down and our knees high, which is like, leave it there. So here, so as I land, that's how the sweep works. But we're not doing the sweep, we're doing the ankle lock. So what we're going to do is we're going to kick our legs straight. So that puts it into position. Once again, is I've got the ability to jump over. So to stop me from jumping over, we roll the knee this way. So as I'm trying to jump over, it puts me in position. Okay, quiet. So your elbow digs in, comes underneath, and I'm off the legs, so we're going to tap with my bony bottom. And once again, the hardest part for the future, which we're going to go into a little bit of detail in the next lesson or so, is that it's same as an armbar. If you're curled up towards me, I can grab and I can attack you. So you want to move your body as far away as you possibly can, drive your hips forward. Yes, heaps better. It's a really tight submission. So that's one of the favourite ways to finish that. From the butterfly guard. It's a nice, easy elevation. It shouldn't be touched. If those of you that have kind of got a little bit of core, this is a really good way to keep your opponent balanced and keep your partner elevated. We're just going to finish off with this guy. So the system that I like to use is, I've got Emma inside my full guard. And I'm just going to go walk you through it. So Emma stands up inside my guard. Pop, pop, pop. I grab the leg and I go to move. What Emma does is she's a bit savvy, so she steps backwards with the leg. So I go 1, 2, go to my butterfly guard, pull. So I'm in the position of the butterfly guard. The downfall is not a really good butterfly guard. So I hold the ankle, elevate the leg, thank you, kick, and I go for the ankle lock. So all of them apart from the one we're taking from the guard, all flow together. I've got the ability to go from the knee bar to the butterfly guard, and just so you guys understand, I've got the ability to reverse engineer this as well. Leo, stop doing that please. So Emma's on my butterfly guard. From here, so I'm trying to go under, and as I sweep, she simply stands up. 1, 2, from here, so I come under, put my knee through, come over, and I've got access. So you can work a combination of both, which would be a little bit of fun for you guys to see how you go as far as working them together. I do the closed guard to the butterfly one. Again, it's a little bit easier than the other way around. So closed guard. My partner stands up. I grab the leg. I drop my leg through. So I'm trying to do the first one. I'm trying to bring this leg around, but she steps backwards. So what I do is I insert my hook on my butterfly, spin to my butterfly, and I separate it. So this is hard for her to keep a balance. And even if she pushes my legs down to try and do the submission, I've got a lot of pressure here. So what I'm going to do is real simple, is I grab, I elevate. Come straight to position, knee comes through. Perfect little system. Once again, feet go onto the hips, kick away to get the extension, elbow comes in. Grip up, I don't do that. I like to go here and apply my pressure.
Yeah, stop it.
Should I have a shot at that one back?
Just if this falls in his, if that falls in your body, that will smash and break.
So we'll just talk Emma through to see how she goes. So we're going to go from full guard, I stand up. So her hand goes underneath and she turns to drop through. But what happens is I step backwards. So she puts a hook in, creates that, and puts a hook. Now this is how it's based. To keep me so I can't step off, is she pulls her knees in towards her chest. So it puts me here. She's now going to turn everything this way, elevate this leg, pop, Look at that. Straighten the leg, knee comes through, sit down, and the perfect finish. Awesome. Good boy. Okay, babe? So that was that's working from a couple of different submissions for you guys. A couple of ways to get into the ankle locks. We did the knee bar, which I'm not a fan on teaching to the beginners and that, but it's a good option for you guys as well. So off the butterfly guard, and then off standing from the closed guard. Plus we had the passing off the guard as well. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Stay safe, and I'll catch up with you guys very, very soon. Okay, thank you. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Thank you.
No,
Why? Why, Mommy?
because it's nighttime.